Friends, I'm Laura Templeton, founder and chief instigator at 30 Second Success. And this is the 30 Second Success podcast, where we ditch the pitch and start connecting with clarity, confidence, and compassion. Today, we're talking about something a whole lot of people feel, but not enough people admit. But first, if you're ready to fully step into your voice and communicate what you know you've been called to do, the Brand Success Hub gives you the clarity, support, and direction to do that without overcomplicating the process. Head on over to 30secondsuccess.com/hub to learn more. Today, we're talking about something a whole lot of people feel, but not enough people admit: networking fatigue. You know the feeling. You've shown up, you've introduced yourself, you've attended the events, joined the Zooms, commented on the posts, followed up on conversations, and instead of feeling energized, you feel drained. If that's you, let me say this right up front. You are not lazy, you are not unmotivated, and you are definitely not bad at networking. You may simply be tired of trying to connect in ways that don't actually fit who you are. Let me say that again. You may simply be tired of trying to connect in ways that don't actually fit who you are. So, today, let's talk about what networking fatigue really is, why it happens, and how to recharge without disappearing. Networking fatigue isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it looks like dreading one more event invitation, feeling like you have to be on all the time, starting conversations with good intentions, but resenting the effort, avoiding follow up because you're mentally tapped out, or scrolling past opportunities because even a good one feels like too much work, right? And here's the sneaky part: a lot of people think the answer is to just try harder, be more visible, say yes to more rooms, meet more people. But sometimes the issue isn't effort, sometimes it's misalignment. You don't always need more networking. Sometimes you need a more honest way of connecting. When networking starts to feel like performance instead of relationship, your nervous system knows it before your brain admits it. There are a few reasons networking can start to wear you down. Number one, you're trying to be on instead of being real. If every conversation feels like a chance to prove yourself, no wonder you're exhausted. Trying to sound impressive is tiring. Trying to remember the right things to say is tiring. Trying to manage everyone's perception of you is very tiring. You're saying yes to rooms that aren't right for you. Not every room is your room. Some spaces are transactional, some are surface level, and some are loud in all the wrong ways. And if you keep forcing yourself into environments that don't fit your values, your personality, or your calling, you'll start to associate networking with depletion. You're and then the third reason way you struggle is that you're confused visibly and constantly and constant with constant availability. So let me say that again because I'm tripping over my own tongue here. You've confused visibility with constant availability. This one gets people. Being visible does not mean being endlessly accessible. You do not need to attend everything, answer everyone immediately, or be everywhere all the time. Visibility without boundaries turns connection into consumption. That's not sustainable. And honestly, it's not necessary. So, quick reminder here: if you're enjoying this episode, please take a moment to like, follow, or subscribe to the podcast. Your support helps us reach more people with stories and strategies that inspire real connection. So now let's clear something up because this matters. There is a difference between healthy boundaries and avoidance. Boundaries sound like that event isn't right fit for me. I'm going to focus on fewer, deeper conversations. I need margins in my week so I can show up well. And I'm not available for every room, but I am available for aligned connection. That's what boundaries sound like. But avoidance sounds like this: I'll connect when I feel perfect. I don't need people. I'll just hide and hope opportunities find me. I'm too overwhelmed to respond to everyone. One protects your energy and the other isolates you. And trust me, isolation is no fun, especially for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners. That isolation can help us to make us feel cut off from the rest of the world. And it almost takes us in a whole different direction. So the trick is learning how to stay connected without overextending yourself. You don't need to disappear to protect your peace. You need wiser ways to connect. So here's how to recharge your approach to networking. Let's get practical. Here are a few ways to recharge your networking rhythm. So, number one, choose fewer rooms, but better ones. Stop measuring success by volume instead of asking, how many events can I attend? Ask, where am I most likely to have meaningful conversations with people who value what I bring? Quality beats quantity every time. Number two, redefine what networking actually is. Networking doesn't have to mean awkward small talk or forced coffee chats. It can look like a thoughtful direct message, a voice memo, a meaningful comment on someone's post, a follow up email after a genuine conversation, a simple introduction between two people who need to know each other. That counts. In fact, sometimes that counts more than showing up in a room full of people that you've never met and they're all talking and you're feeling like the outsider and you're starting to wonder why you're there. So, number three, build in recovery time. And this is key. When you do go to networking events, build in recovery time. If you're, whether you're showing up online or in person, that recovery time is critical. I don't know about you. I'm what we call an ambivert. I'm kind of introvert, extrovert, in the middle of the road. I can be very extroverted, especially if I'm in a group that I'm familiar with. If it's a new group, I haven't met these people before, and I'm trying to gauge the room and figure out who's a good connection, who's a good person to have a conversation with, who's the person in the room that seems to be, introducing other people to one another, like that's the person you want to kind of hang out with, right? But when you first get somewhere and you're not familiar with it, it can be taxing, especially if you're like me and you have that ambivert quality where it's overwhelming at times. Like I have to extract myself from the conversation, collect my thoughts so I can re-engage. I do a whole talk on the difference between how introverts and extroverts and ambiverts actually network, and it's really fascinating. So definitely check that conversation out. But one of the things I want to help you do is n- learn how to build in recovery time. So if you know people facing spaces take energy, plan accordingly. Don't stack three networking events on top of each other or on top of a heavy client week and then act shocked when your soul wants a nap and witness protection program. Right? Give yourself space to recover. That's wisdom, not weakness. And then number four, focus on connection, not collection. You do not need a giant pile of business cards, contacts, or LinkedIn connections that go nowhere. What you need are real conversations. Pick 2 to 3 people, have great conversations. If you like the direction of that conversation, Ask if you can continue the conversation offline when it's a little bit more easy to hear each other and really sink into listening, right? Real conversations, mutual trust, aligned relationships, few people who truly understand what you do and who you serve. That's what you're looking for when you go to events. You do not need more names in your orbit. You need more depth in your relationships. Those relationships, when you really cultivate them and connect on a more deep and intimate level with them, so they have a deep understanding of who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them, and you do the same for them, starts to turn into collaborations, into connections, into introductions. It's amazing how those relationships really take off and help you grow your business when you are intentional about creating them. Let your message do some of the work for you, but not all of the work. When your message is clear, you don't have to hustle so hard to explain yourself. The more aligned your communication is, the less draining networking becomes because people understand you faster and they remember you more easily and can refer you more confidently. That changes everything. Think about your message as the door opener to a deeper conversation. That's how you make those connections, and that's how you become memorable. So, what energized networking actually feels like, let's not talk about what to avoid. Let's talk about what's possible. When your networking rhythm is healthy, it feels intentional, calm, relational, spacious, even enjoyable. You leave conversations feeling clear, not scrambled, and you feel curious instead of pressured. You're not trying to collect attention, you're building trust. And here's the beautiful part: when you stop forcing connection, you make room for the right relationships to form naturally. That's where the magic is, not in being everywhere, in being present where it matters. So if networking has been feeling heavily lately, take this as your permission slip to stop doing it the hard way. You do not need to prove yourself in every room. You do not need to say yes to every invitation. And you absolutely do not need to build your business by running yourself into the ground. You need a rhythm of connection that matches your values, your energy, and the way you're actually designed to show up. And if you're ready to support in refining your message, strengthening your presence, and building more intentional connections, that's exactly the kind of work we do inside the Brand Success Hub. It's for business owners and professionals who want to communicate with more clarity, confidence, and compassion without all the noise and pressure and performance. Because when your message is aligned, your networking gets lighter. And when your networking gets lighter, your relationships get stronger. If you're ready for that shift, just join us at 30secondsuccess.com/hub. I'm Laura Templeton. Thank you so much for joining me here on the 30 Second Success podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's inspiring conversation. And until then, stand in your brand, trust your voice, and remember, success is just 30 seconds away.